Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español con Profesor Pablo. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to Learn Spanish Fast. Rápido, rapidísimo with Profesor Pablo. We're going to take a quick minute. I've been talking a lot about my ebook, and I want to explain to you what it's all about so you have a good idea. If you go to profesorpablo.com, you will come up to a sampling of what the whole ebook is all about. It goes through all the 9 different sections, and it gives you sample pages for each sections. There are testimonials from students who have learned through it, and I think you'll find it rather interesting. There's some personal information about me, right, about my background and so on. But first of all, it's called Spanish Learning Systems because I have devised systems to teach accent marks, to teach, you've seen me teach, you know I have systems, tips, tricks, and tools in that language learning module. I have systems for pretty much everything. The Spanish verb universe, right, the verb numbering system. I broke down the Spanish language, I absolutely dissected it. Right? Every little cell of the Spanish language I explored, and I finally found out how does a language work and why does it work as it does. Rather, it's quite simple, and I'm laying it out for you and to make it easy for you to learn Spanish. So, we have 9 sections in the ebook. The first section is sentence starters. It's my favorite section, and that's why it's number 1. There are 180 sentence starters. It's going from basic to advanced. And you'll see everything is color-coded. Like when you're learning how to say when something happened, pasó or fue, hace, the way the system works is you say what's in the red color, and then it gives you all sorts of what they call rejoinders, phrases that are common that you can use after the beginning to create communication, and it gives you a lot of examples. There are 180 of them. Basically, it's what we're doing on the big board, but it's even a bigger explanation of each one. And it starts with the sound system, it starts with the alphabet. So those are the sentence starters, and there are audio lessons. If you go to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Yahoo, on many different platforms, you can find it. These audio lessons accompany the 180 sentence starters. So sentence starter number 131, you would go to audio lesson number 131, and then you would find the lesson that goes with what's on the written page. It's really handy, it's really good. Section 2 is survival Spanish. There are 800 plus expressions. Now the way this is set up, on the left-hand column are the expressions in English, alphabetically. In Spanish, on the right-hand side, right? So you have the English alphabetical, and then you have the Spanish translation to the right. So you can quickly thumb through it, right? Scroll through your pages and try to find some cool things that you need to know how to say, like a cup of coffee, no more thank you. Just basic communicative expressions, 800 of them, very basic. Then you go to section 3, there are useful sayings. In Spanish, in my classes, my students knew them as frases útiles. Oh my gosh. Frases útiles means useful sayings, handy sayings, catchy sayings. Some are idioms, real famous expressions and sayings, but most of them are just daily, everyday conversation expressions. There are over 3,000. And guess what? Yes, they are in English alphabetically from A to Z. 3,000 plus from A to Z. You're going to have a ton of great times reading these. Go through them at night. Mark the ones that you like, right? And start using them. Number 4. Section 4, there are 47 different topics and dialogues. And we talk about different people, places, and things, and we put some dialogues in there. And it's basic, everyday Spanish. And we want you to read them, and you'll look and you say, man, I understand this. And then the English is there for you so you can double check to see that you're comprehending. But you'll see how you can take your language skills and construct language. You're going to go through these topics and dialogues and read them, and you're going to say, wow, I see how this works. This is great. Number 5, Verb Dictionary. There are over 1,000 verbs, again, alphabetical in English, and on the right-hand side, they are in Spanish. But guess what? Remember all those stem-changing verbs? E to IE, E to I, O to U, all but nosotros, all those stem-changing verbs in the present, all the stem-changing verbs in the preterite, right? All the irregular verbs, all those quirky things that we studied in the verb matrix. All those verbs are listed alphabetically, but on the far right-hand side, it will tell you if it's a go verb, a ZC verb. It will tell you if it's an E to IE. And then it will tell you to the right of it, it'll give you the verb number. So it might say go, and it might have a 3 next to it and an 8, because that's telling you that the go is going to show up in the present tense 3 and 8, the present subjunctive. So the verb dictionary is indispensable. All the verbs you would need to know in English, alphabetical, Spanish on the right, and then whatever happens to them in terms of stem changing, etc., on the far right next to the English translation. Over 1,000. Vocabulary. There are 30 different topics of vocabulary. Some basic things like colors. It gets into medical. There are pages and pages and pages of medical expressions, right? You want to check that out. Then we come down to grammar. This is a huge chunk. There are 262 audios. There are 262 lessons dealing with communicative grammar. It goes from basic to advanced. So anything you want to know about the Spanish language in terms of grammar, you'll find it in section 7, from basic to advanced. And there is a corresponding audio. So you can look at the ebook and read it, and you can listen to the audio. Put it on your phone and listen. Put it on your earbuds and listen. Listen to it through the car radio, through the computer, and look at the written word in the ebook. Then the verb charts. You saw the Spanish verb universe. You saw the verb numbering system. There are 35 different charts where all the conjugations are listed for you in a very easy to understand fashion. Some are in color. You'll enjoy that. And then finally, accent mark system. Here's that word again, system. Okay? Not only are these systems, we go through these systematically, right? There is a method to my teaching style, right? You must trust the process. Great coaches say that. You got to trust the process. Trust the process. Follow the lessons in sequence. Do what you need to do. I'm going to do what I need to do. And together, we will achieve success. You don't achieve success, then I'm not achieving success. So it's a two-way street. It's you and it's me working together. Trabajando juntos. Getting back to the accent mark system. Now, I always talk about accent marks and I point them out, right? Breaking up the diphthong. The rules of pronunciation are there. Everything you need to know about accent marks is explained there. And this is a system that I solely by myself created. I've shared it with all my students. They go to college. They help their professors. A lot of professors in college, they're more into, culture and history and literature. But the accent mark system, this is infallible. You're going to find out there are 672 practice words where the word is there and then you have to put an accent mark on or not, and then you have to put the appropriate code to see if you got it right. And of course all the rules are explained, and the rules are so simple. There are 2 rules of pronunciation. And then of course, being a teacher, at the end there is an answer key for all of the 672 practice examples for accent marks. If you're going to write Spanish, you must learn your accent marks. And I have a system. I can teach this to a 4-year-old, to a 5-year-old, and they could learn it. It doesn't take a lot. You just need to be systematic. You got to learn a couple of rules, pronounce a word, and then apply the rule. And you'll see that in Spanish, and we know when we put our big board up here with lots of words, not too many of them have accent marks. Thank goodness. Most words in the Spanish language follow the 2 rules of pronunciation. But those words that violate it, and interrogative words, interjections, right, and dual meaning words, right, they get an accent mark too. But there aren't many of those. There aren't many. So that's it. That's what the ebook looks like. It's very well organized. It's color-coded section by section. And what's really neat, unlike a book where you have to turn the page and go back and forth and the pages rip and it's heavy. Where are you going to set it alongside the bed? The dog sleeps on it. The pages get dog-eared, if you will. No, it's right there. You just scroll, boom, scroll through hundreds of pages and you get to right where you need to be. Okay, so that's it. In the Verb Dictionary, every verb in English to the right, if it's regular, it lets you know it's regular. Then you just conjugate it with the regular endings. You can look at your charts and find those for a reminder. And then if something happens to it, it tells you what happens to it. Like if it's a G to J, right? If it's a J verb or Y verb. And then it tells you what numbers, 0 through 9, that change happens in. All right? So I think we got that clarified now. Go to profesorpablo.com and look at it. There's a lot of pages there that are samples for each section. Again, there are testimonials, and then there is a nice little section about Profesor Pablo, learn maybe a few things about your profesor. Okay? Oh, I used to sell it for $50 when I first created it during the pandemic. I lowered it to $30, and now for my YouTube listeners, I have a promo code Pablo50. If you go to purchase it, at that point, when you get ready to purchase it, you put in the promo code Pablo50, 50, Pablo50, and then it reduces it to $15. 15 bucks? I can't buy this shirt for 15 bucks. A hamburger, fries, and maybe a chocolate shake. But anyways, I just want to point this out to you because this is my whole life's work. Everything is here. This is who I am. This is my DNA. You talk about Pablo's Spanish learning systems. All my systems, my teaching methodologies, they're all wrapped up in this ebook. So if you like what we're doing with the YouTube videos, you will find this ebook to be your steady companion, a great supplement. Okay, thank you very much. Es todo por ahora. Hasta la próxima lección. Gracias. Bye.